we'll see Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles taking on Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys.
We're just a stone's throw from the Delaware River, and we've got some water to contend with ourselves. A steady rain falling at Lincoln Financial Field. Tonight, we've got a good NFC matchup in store, as it'll be the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Time for Dak Prescott and the Dallas offense to go to work. Prescott, of course, the former fourth-round pick in 2016 out of Mississippi State.
It's been a lot of fun watching him advance in his career. Many people question his ability to throw the football coming out of Mississippi State. He's conclusively answered that question. In addition, a very strong runner and an even better leader.
They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Right away, they rack up 10 yards on their first play from scrimmage. Good sign here early. Everybody on offense there up front in the backfield in sync on that play.
So much talk about what do you do to neutralize home field advantage? Well, teams that run the football effectively, they often have a way of neutralizing it in a big way when they have those types of runs.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Prescott to throw it. Open man, the tight end, Luke Schoonmaker. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Pollard going to try the right side. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
First down, and it's Pollard again. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 44 now, here's 2nd and 4. Gonna run again here with Pollard. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
That's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through. And that's a nice job to hold him just a couple and force the 3rd down.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Looking to throw. Prescott working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain. So they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
On 1st and 10, Prescott looking downfield for Pollard. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
You get a sense of what this game plan might be. They think they can take a few home run shots against this defense. They tried it there on the opening drive, but that ball's incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Prescott. A short one there, taken in by Ferguson. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
And again, it's Prescott. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. That sack courtesy of the effort of Hassan Reddick. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them, because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Prescott from the gun. They'll drop this underneath to Pollard. Heck of a broken tackle, and able to work this down near the 23. That'll give them 8 that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
What do they have for this? 3rd and 11. Prescott now. And this is going to be incomplete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
So on 4th down, Prescott off, and on is Aubrey for the Cowboy field goal. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is right there. It's good, and the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. And all in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start, because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well, so your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. Phillies offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
Tremendous production in college at 2 different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for a Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Hurts throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now a 2nd and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that. 1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. Cavante Turpin deep for the Cowboys. "35 yards that time on the punt, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Buried for the sack by big Jalen Carter.
And we all know how talented this guy is, who's calling the signals for him. But even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. To throw is Prescott. And that is incomplete.
Well, the gap man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And the Cowboys going to bring on Brian Anger to punt on 4th down. Britton Covey deep for Philadelphia. .47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. That's to the speedster, Olamide Zaccheaus. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Kind of a dangerous throw there. He's off balance when he gets rid of it. But this is all about a quarterback knowing what he can get away with. At that time, it turns into a completion and a healthy gain as well.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing is Hurts. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
Second and 10. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
I spy a couple of extra defensive backs on the field for Dallas.
Cowboys in the dime on 3rd. Here's Hurts to throw. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. 3rd down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out, but his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Hurts going to run it himself. It's a solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Flushed out, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack. Nothing after one on EA COWBOYS Sports. Now second quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 2nd and 14 upcoming. Another try after the first down sack. Hurts. He's going deep for Brown. And this is caught. A big play there for Philly. 42 yards. He went swinging for the fences on that play. Didn't quite get in the end zone, but, boy, they're set up pretty now.
Okay, that play just happened. Let it go. Time to defend the goal line, bring some all-out pressure, and try and knock them back.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Looking to throw. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line. First down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
So an incomplete pass a moment ago, and that leads to 2nd and goal. Gainwell is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. That time a 9-play drive. And it was Kenneth Gainwell who finished it off with a touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Kevontae Turpin now from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Dallas offense set for this next drive. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. So Prescott to the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs. Run some plays, run some clock. Allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Those are the ones you dream of as defenders. I think if he gets eyes on the ball a little bit earlier, he might come away with it. Instead, it's going to wind up as just an incomplete pass.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now Prescott. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty. And before this drive could get wings, it's fourth down.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. Call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again.
The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation, because, look, what they did last time out, now with a shorter field, they should have a lot of confidence that they're going to put more points up on the board.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 37. They'll start out here with the option left. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley.
And not much room to speak of. He'll get about 3 up to the 41.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle, because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Here's 3rd and 6.
They'll drop to throw. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
He's been making himself a weapon as a runner, and the results, they've been welcomed by his offense. My question is about the defense we're watching right now, partner. Even after he got him with a scramble earlier this drive, they still aren't devoting enough attention to him. I would expect that after that carry, they'll do a much better job going forward, spying on him on passing downs.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
On 2nd down, here's the option.
Give him 4 yards as he does it himself, and it's a 1st down.
So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the 1st down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the 1st down, get a new set, and let's start over.
They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. This short throw caught by Goedert. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 10 yards there and an Eagle 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations. But a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
This is caught. Touchdown.
Jalen Hurts finding A.J. Brown.
And the Eagles are able to widen their advantage. Elliott on for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that drives 7 plays in length.
And it's capped off by an A.J. Brown touchdown.
After the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down.
He works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Play action now. Prescott.
He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb.
And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Prescott.
That's going to be caught by Pickens.
Oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Eagles offense and A.J. Brown headed back out there.
He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. Boston Scott, his first carry. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
From the 42 now, here's 2nd and 2. Now Hurts on the option right.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. The 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. On the option left, it's Hurts.
And fights through one man. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
From the 44-yard line, here's second down and a yard. Up the middle with Barkley. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right out and right up the middle.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Hurts. Trying to lay one up deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, they took their shot. That one was kind of up for grabs that time. And you've got to be careful defensively not to make contact too early. But that was textbook right there to get in tight and force the incompletion.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. This short throw caught by Goddard. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Back to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Scott. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. And they're going to fake it. He wants to throw it here. And this one will not work out. It is incomplete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Cowboys defense is going to get them the football back. Prescott on first down. And his throw here's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing, Prescott. Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Prescott and Lamb hooking up for the Cowboy first. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Swinging this out for Pollard. Stop shy of the 45. Showed off a nice little move on the play, though.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
They'll throw again. Prescott. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Prescott. Drops this underneath for Pollard. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. On is the punter, Brian Anger, to kick this one away. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half.
Yeah, the Eagles going to get one final possession in this first half. And with a 14-3 advantage already, we'll see how much they want to try to push things, if at all.
Clock at 20 seconds to go in the half as they come up 1st and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, back to you guys in just a moment, but welcome everyone to our Creative Village studios in the EA Sports Halftime Report. The Eagles were led in the first half by their dynamic quarterback, Jalen Hurts. He's got a touchdown pass on the ledger as his guys were able to build a double-digit lead.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Eagles ready to go on offense to begin quarter number 3. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their own 26.
He'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley.
And he powers his way up past the 30. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch.
Nice satisfying run on 1st down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
second down. Here's Jalen Hurts. Over the middle, complete. It's Brown. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His second catch in a row, first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game, because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
A first down carry for Barkley. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. And tip your cap to DeMarcus Lawrence. Nice play defensively.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. And they'll send the slot in motion left. And he'll get it here on the touch pass. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He's got room at the 30. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 25-yard line. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
On first down, Hurts. Complete to Zacchaeus. And he's brought down, but not before a gain of 13, down to the 13. 1st and 10 in the red zone.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
And they'll give to Scott here on the option. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive. And once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Facing a 2nd and 6 from the 8. Now back to throw. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
They're going to run this with a tight end. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Albert O taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Eagles take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Defense has always talked about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better. And
that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Josh Sweat rushing in and bringing him down to the ground.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. He'll drop to throw. He finds his man, Pollard. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Brian Anger now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. Fair catch called for and made, but they may back him up 10 here and have him do it again. So holding there on the return, and that'll back him up to start the next drive.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
The holding penalty negates a good return as they'll start just past the 20. Back to throw now on 1st down. Zacchaeus here hauling it in. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. Options galore here. 2nd and a few inches. Hurts going to keep it running right. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Well, he's had success running the football in this one. Yeah, that's undeniable, but that time the defense was on to it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3.
They'll set up a throw.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Shrugs him off. Call it an even 40-yard punt. 7, though, on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Flush to his right. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
They'll send the big tight end in motion right.
Pollard will take it up the gut. Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 53 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they had 3 tight ends in on that set.
And these guys are punching really well. I use boxing analogies a lot. A lot of coaches have told me that when you line up to run the football, it's 10 fist fights along the line of scrimmage, right? You've got to win your share. These 3 tight ends, they almost always win their fist fights.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Prescott.
A short one there taken in by Ferguson.
And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or 2. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Here's Pollard again. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Three quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Prescott to throw it. Now Prescott stripped. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And I don't know that fumble's going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. 2nd down, here's Barkley again. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on 1st down quickly negated. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge 4th quarter stop? The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 10. Now Hurts on the option right. And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. They'll get a couple of yards on the keeper, but it's going to lead to a 4th down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. Taking on the midfield logo. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. Prescott looks to throw on 1st. Throw complete right side to Cooks. So the completion good for just 3. And that will bring up 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Here's Prescott. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On the draw, it's Pollard. Pushing through tacklers at the 30. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
From the 29, here's 2nd and a couple. Prescott from the gun. A quick throw there is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Prescott now. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Surprised at all that they went with a fullback there?
Not at all, because it harkened back to the days where we watched these games almost in black and white, right? The stocky guy, the strong guy, the powerful guy with leg drive. Give him the football, and even if the blocking isn't perfect, he has the ability to scatter bodies and move people enough to pick up first downs. That's what we just saw right there.
That's got this one complete to Pollard. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
2nd down, Prescott. Pickens on the slant. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
2nd down and 6 now. Here's Prescott. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. They'll look to throw here. Touchdown, Cowboys! Brandon Cooks from 6 yards away. And the Cowboys are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Brandon Aubrey now for the extra point. It's up and good, and the lead is down now at 11. It's 21-10. That one in the books as a 12-play drive, and it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. Eagles set and ready for their next offensive drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They begin with a run by Barkley. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Yeah, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They'll try and run some clock here with Barkley. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, Barkley. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Barkley, inside handoff. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. They'll run again. And Barkley did not get there. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this will remain an 11-point spread. So Dak and the Cowboys down 21-10, a little over a minute to go. Their offense has struggled all night, and now they need to find 2 scores late to try to pull this thing out. And that miss should just about write a finish to this one.
Yeah, they needed 2 scores, and they needed that field goal there to be the first one and still give them an opportunity. But now, with the time left on the clock, I think this one's about finished.
Here's Dak. And that's complete to Cooks. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Decent start to the drive there. Of course, they need the touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal.
Yeah, those guys are into it. How about the guys on the sidelines? You see the coaches signaling, all the personnel groups up on the sideline, ready to go in and out of the game. They've got to condense their time now in order to try and get back into it.
Now Prescott. They'll drop this underneath to Pollard. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
A short one there, taken in by Ferguson. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these 2 teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slow.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Eagles are winners here as we say so long from Philadelphia.